Here in Block 3, Coach, can you just continue to talk about, how this team is growing and developing through now 2 whole blocks and on to practice number 10?
Yeah, I think this group is just growing from a maturity aspect. They're very coachable. I didn't think we practiced very well yesterday in terms of our practice habits. Showed it on tape, and they made the adjustment. So it was really great to see this group flying around, doing it the right way, but still protecting their teammates. So I think you've seen a lot of growth in their maturity.
More team periods today and yesterday than you did earlier in camp. What are you seeing out of the group in those segments that you might not have when you in the early practices?
Yeah, trying to get some real life football situations for these guys and put them in different situations throughout the practice. We did a little bit of kind of choice downs, and then we went right into a second down, play the results. So just making sure guys are understanding that every play is a situation, I think is critical, and that's what we're trying to do today.
Back-to-back axe winners from the defensive line.
Yeah, D-tackle specifically.
I think, 3 in the past week, it feels like. What is it about that group and that depth that's kind of, allowed them to stand out in the past week?
I just think they're really competing, right? I don't think they're competing against each other. They're competing with each other, and I think that's something that's really good. I think Coach Malo's done a heck of a job with that defensive tackle group, and that group continues to get better. And I think anytime you have that competition, but also the camaraderie, you're going to get that competing with instead of competing against, and that's what you're seeing out of that D-line.
Ocean is a member of that freshman class that's come in and really just made a big impact. What have you seen out of that, group of freshmen and their development pretty rapidly through fall camp that's helped bring some positive vibes to the group?
No, I think that group really, it matters to them, right? They don't want to be ranked the number 1 recruiting class in the country and then lay an egg. They want to go, really live up to the hype, so to speak. And I think you're seeing a lot of guys now that we're in that 3rd block, right? We're in double-digit practices where they're really starting to figure some things out. Now, obviously, Ocean had an advantage. He was here in the winter, but that group as a whole has really, I think, taken it on themselves to be as advertised.
What are you looking to see in these next couple of days before another off day on Wednesday?
Just want to see that us execute better, right? Not make the same mistakes. I think in the secondary, just continuing to work on our communication, especially in our man stuff. Offensively, continuing to add and understand the concept so we can add more in terms of install, where we're not necessarily adding new plays, but just doing them a different way. So I think those are the 2 things I'd really like to see. And then special teams wise, just want to see some of those young guys step up. See who's going to be a guy that maybe isn't getting a lot of time on offense or defense, but is making a huge difference on special teams.
For sure. Thanks, Coach.
You bet. V's up.
Yeah, really pleased with the way they've kind of matured as young men, as leaders, as students of the game. I got a bunch of guys that love football, and that's apparent in everything they do. We're still young, but we are not inexperienced this year going into it. So really excited to watch how they continue to grow.
You guys return about 60% of your yards from last year. How do you think that experience, guys who got thrust into roles last year that they may not have otherwise, is going to help you navigate, a new offense and all of that this year?
I think it's been awesome so far. There's none of the same jitters and first time. I think I had 8 guys or something like that last year that caught their first college catch or first college start or first college touchdown. So I think that the experience will serve them well. They understand how to study. They understand what some of the obstacles are going to be to success, and they've done a great job so far this camp of attacking every day, playing through a little bit of discomfort, and doing whatever's necessary for our offense to be successful.
What are kind of signs of progression you're looking to see out of this group as fall camp continues to progress?
Always want to be physical. We half joke a little bit about we don't want to be receivers. We want to be football players. So we want to make sure our presence is felt on the perimeter when we get a chance to go do some of the great teammate type work and blocking the run game, and just continuing to gain that immediate knowledge of what we're doing offensively in the system. Continue to get our signals and play calls and all of those things down so they can really show. It's a talented group of kids, but they need to make sure they're locked in mentally to be able for that talent to show through.
For sure. Ocean, our axe winner here on day 10. Just talk about how this defensive line group is coming together. 3 of you guys have earned the axe in the last week. What is it like to be with a group that seems to be thriving in that way?
It's great. It's great knowing that no matter who's on the field, everyone can compete. And if it goes from 1 to 2s, 2 to 3s, there's no drop off in competition.
Yeah. You are a part of this freshman class that's, billed as the best in school history and all of that. Can you talk about being a part of that group that really does seem to be, living up to that billing so far in fall camp?
It's great because we all know who we are. We all hold ourselves to a certain expectation. Just getting out here working every day, and we're all trying to get on the field.
For sure. What is it like to work with Coach Stalker? I know it's your first college fall camp. What is it like to work in this offense? Is it something that you've kind of done before, or how much is it different compared to defenses that you've worked in the past?
I feel like it's really different, and especially because working with Coach Stock, who used to be a D lineman himself, it really lets us loose, and it helps us go make plays. And I love it.
For sure. Thanks.
Okay, thank you guys.